The marketplace space has completely changed. Today, you can basically have a live marketplace with payments, seller onboarding, custom domain in about an afternoon. My name is Rasmus and I recently built 4 online marketplaces. Some of them worked and some of them failed. In this video, I'll take you through how I would build an online marketplace today, step by step, so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Let's do it. So step 1 is pretty much always the same: validate before you build. This is super important because most marketplaces that end up failing, it's not because the tech was bad, it's basically because they didn't manage to get sellers and buyers to connect on their marketplace. So here's the fastest way to validate your idea. Start by always picking a niche, because a marketplace for everyone is basically a marketplace for no one. So try and think narrow: vintage furniture in your city, local dog walkers, or handmade ceramics from the Nordics. Or like I did, a Moomin Mogs marketplace in the Nordics. And number 2 is then to try and find 10 potential sellers for your marketplace. Try and DM them or email them. Maybe even try and meet a couple of them and hear what they say. Basically just try and ask them, so if I make this marketplace, would you then make listings on this marketplace? Because if you can't get 10 people to say yes to this, that might be a sign that this is not going to be working. And number 3, try and find 10 potential buyers. And do that by posting in relevant Facebook or Reddit groups or something similar to that. Basically just describe what you are thinking of doing and see what the reaction is. And if there's no reaction at all, that's quite a bad sign actually. It's better to get some reactions, because that means that somebody out there actually cares about your idea. So basically if both sides show interest, so both the buyer sides and the potential seller sides, they show interest, then there might actually be something there and then you should move on. And if you don't get any reactions or you only get negative responses, then it might actually be a bad idea and you should probably consider pivoting to something else then. And remember, there are so many ideas out there for marketplaces, so it's not that difficult to pivot to something else. And let me just quickly show you how I validated one of my ideas for a marketplace that I made a couple of years ago, which was called Ninja Boss, and that was a marketplace for buying and selling podcast ads, basically. So for smaller and medium-sized podcasters who could then list their podcast on this marketplace, and then potential advertisers could basically reach out to them and basically advertise on their podcasts. So basically, as you can see here, we are on Reddit, and I basically just wrote a post on this one called podcasting, which is it's actually not that big, that Reddit community, but it's very active. So I just wrote something about myself, what we were doing and what we were building. And then as you can see down here, I got a lot of, first of all, quite a lot of upvotes, but also a lot of comments. And just reading through it, most people were quite positive. And this, of course, was also a marketplace that, could help these podcasters basically earn more money. Because with a small podcast, it's actually quite difficult to earn any money at all. So that's, of course, also one of the reasons why they were quite positive. And I then also made an update post a little bit, I think like a month later or something like that, where I was writing about, okay, this was what has happened, blah, blah, blah. So around 95 podcasters had been listing, as you can see here, and so on. So that was also a way to basically keep on getting feedback from them. So I can really recommend doing something like this. It might not be on Reddit, so you have to kind of figure out where your potential sellers are hanging out. That could be on Reddit, Facebook, could be Instagram or some other social media. It could be in person at some meetups or something like that. But really try and put yourself out there. Tell about what kind of marketplace you're considering or are building at the moment, so you can quickly get some feedback from your sellers to basically quickly validate your idea. And now let's go back to the park and start discussing the chicken and the egg problem. So first of all, here's the brutal truth about marketplaces. Buyers won't come without sellers, and sellers won't come without buyers. It's called the chicken and the egg problem, and that is one that you have to solve. But how do you solve this? Well, you cheat. Because you pick one side to focus on first, and almost always that's the supply side. So the seller side, those are the ones that you focus on first. And here's why. Because if you have a great product, a great listing on your marketplace, you can always drive buyers there by ads, SEO, social media, and so on. But if they show up to your marketplace and there are no listings or very few listings, they are going to be churning straight away. So that's why you should always focus on the seller side. Well, pretty much always on the seller side first. So start by getting your first maybe 5 to 10 sellers to your platform before you start thinking about your buyers. And help them set up their listings so that their listings look amazing. Even do the work for them if you have to. I have a video on the chicken and the egg problem. I'll link it above. But the short version of that video is basically stack the supply side first and then turn on demand. Awesome. So how do you then actually build this thing? So your marketplace. Well, you have 3 real options that I'll take you through right now. So option 1 is custom development. So you build it yourself or you hire some developers and you basically build everything yourself. Then you have full control and full flexibility. But we are talking about months of development, tens of thousands of developers if you have to hire developers, of course, and also ongoing maintenance, of course. And remember that for an unvalidated idea, that's actually a huge gamble to go this route. Option 2 is open source or boilerplates. So you take a pre-built code base like a Next.js boilerplate and basically customize it from there. This is faster and cheaper than building everything yourself, but you still need technical knowledge in order to do this. Because you'll need to handle hosting, payments, updates, security, all of it basically. But this can be a good option if you are a developer already. And option 3 is to go for a no-code marketplace builder. And this is also where the game has changed the most. Because with a platform like Promotora, you can build, launch, and scale a marketplace without writing a single line of code. You get payments, seller onboarding, custom domain, and you can basically be live in just one day. So these are basically your 3 options. So you go custom, that's probably gonna take you 3 to 6 months and gonna cost you at least 20k. Technical skills, well, they are high and it's probably best for funded startups, I would say. The boilerplate approach, that's definitely gonna be faster. So it's probably gonna take you 2 to 6 weeks because most of it will be there on the boilerplate as well. You just basically adjust it. Cost-wise, maybe 500 to 5k. Technical skills, you still need quite a lot of technical skills actually for this. So I would say medium. So this is probably best for technical founders. And then there's the no-code solution like Promotora. You can pretty much launch in one day then. It's gonna cost you $99 a month. Technical skills, you basically need none. And this is for sure best for first-time founders, but also for founders that just want something that is reliable and just want to focus on getting buyers and sellers to basically transact on their marketplace. So my honest take is that if it's the first time you're building an online marketplace, then you should probably go for a marketplace builder solution like Promotora, because then you can quickly go live with your marketplace and then start focusing on the hard part, which is first getting sellers and then getting buyers and then getting them to basically transact with each other. Because again, most marketplace ideas actually fail because they never manage to actually launch their marketplace, not because they picked the wrong tech stack for their marketplace. So it's all about launching quickly, validate your idea, and then scale from there basically. Now, payments are the thing that trips up most marketplace founders. And of course, I get it. Splitting up payments between buyers, sellers, and the marketplace sounds kind of complicated. But the good thing is there's really only one answer to this: to use Stripe Connect, basically. And here's how it works. A buyer pays on your marketplace, Stripe then holds the money, and your marketplace takes a commission, let's say 10% or whatever commission rate you set. And the rest goes to the seller. So Stripe is handling all the complicated stuff like tax, payouts, everything. Now, setting up Stripe Connect yourself from scratch, that can be quite painful because there are different account types, onboarding flows, webhook events to handle. I actually have a whole video on this topic. But of course, if you're using a marketplace builder like Promotora, everything is already set up for you. So the only thing you have to do is basically add your commission rate and then you're ready to get going. So sellers just go through the onboarding flow, get verified, and then they start receiving their payouts automatically. One thing I have to add though is no matter what platform you choose, make sure that it supports for sellers listing their products before the onboarding flow. It's usually called a deferred onboarding flow. Because in the real world, sellers want to see how the marketplace works before they do the whole onboarding flow on Stripe. So basically let your sellers list, let them make a couple of sales, just hold the money until they onboard it. But that way they get a much better experience and they figure out how your marketplace works before they actually do the whole onboarding on Stripe Connect. I actually have a GitHub repo on how you can set this up. I'll link to it in the description. Now on Promotoro, as I was saying before, it's super easy to get going with Stripe Connect. So basically you just go to the payment area here, then you click here on Stripe Connect, and then you can see that you have to add the publishable key and the secret key. So you start of course with your test keys from your test environment on Stripe. So you go to your Stripe, go to the test environment here, as you can see I'm in right now. Then you go down here to developers. I hope you can see that, but it says developers down here, and you click on overview, and then you can see you get your publishable key here and your secret key here. So these are the test keys that you start using, because then you can test everything on your marketplace before you switch to your actual production keys. So then you publish them one by one in here, paste them in here, and then you basically just save the settings. And as you can see down here, then you can then set your commission rate. So depending on how much commission you want to take on each transaction, you basically just add that here. One thing I also just want to add is that there's also this revenue calculator on Promotoro. So here you can basically calculate your marketplace earnings to basically find your break-even point. So let's say you are making an Airbnb kind of marketplace. You have a commission rate of 12% and your average order value is $150. And let's say you have 50 monthly orders. You can see here that you need to make 16 orders in order to break even. So go ahead and check that one out as well. Okay, so your marketplace is live and you have real sellers with real products, so real listings. Now, how do you then get your first 10 transactions? Okay, so here's how. First off, tell all your sellers to basically share their listings. All sellers, of course, they have some kind of following. So if they share their listings, share them on their social media profiles and so on, you'll for sure also get your first couple of buyers in, meaning your first couple of transactions. Okay, and secondly, always post in communities where your buyers are hanging out. So if you believe that your buyers could potentially hang out in some kind of Reddit community, for instance, you should post there or on Facebook or on Instagram. But find out where your buyers are hanging out basically and post there. Similar to what I did when I was talking about Ninja Boss back in the days that I'll share here. And number 3, always treat all your customers, meaning both your buyers and your sellers, like VIPs, meaning that when they message you, when they, need your help, really reply as fast as you can. So reply in minutes if you can, so that they really feel that they are being treated super, super well. Also, when you see that your first transaction comes in, really make sure that everything goes as smooth as possible, so that both the buyer and the seller feels like, okay, this was a really good experience, so I really want to tell all my friends about this marketplace. And remember that your first 10 transactions on your marketplace will teach you more about your marketplace than any planning ever could. Okay, great. So let's just recap. Step 1, validate your idea. Talk to real users. Step 2, solve the chicken and the egg problem. Step 3, usually go for no-code to launch fast. Step 4, set up Stripe Connect for payments. And step 5, do things that don't scale in order to get your first 10 transactions on your marketplace. This is basically the playbook that I used when I launched Nordic Mugs, my marketplace for buying and selling Moomin mugs. So I really think this is the best way to do it. So if you would like to test out Promotoro, you can test it out for free for 14 days. Just go to promotoro.com and basically sign up and start building your marketplace. And if you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe and maybe also give it a like. I really hope that you liked it, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you. Bye bye. Ciao.